Hey everyone, Dr. Zio here again, and before we jump into the review, I just want to say I just got back from a comedy club and it was so much fun. This isn't the first time I've been to a comedy club, but I just want I don't know how many of y'all have been to a comedy club, but if you have some in your town and you have a means of getting to one, it can be a little bit expensive. It might have like a certain item charge, like, 2 items per people. I know this one did, but go if you can. Go see whoever's in town. Preferably someone who's just not. I mean, you can see someone who's not famous. The only reason I was gonna say that is because the opening act was really bad, but it was we went to go see Tony Rock's brother, or Tony Rock, who's Chris Rock's brother. He was good. He was so good. Like I was laughing the entire time, and which is good. It's always good. I mean, basically that's to say, just get out. Get out, go do something, right? Whether it's taking a walk around your neighborhood, going to the comedy club, going to the park, just get out sometimes and go do some stuff. I definitely 100% recommend going to a comedy club even once in your life, whether it's with somebody close to you or just going alone. You can still have a ton of fun. It's also good. It's also a good date idea, whether it's your first date or maybe you're rekindling your love or something else. But I just thought I would start off with that because I had a lot of fun. I also had a lot of fun watching Power Rangers Dino Fury episode 13, Matchmaker. So let's get right into that review. This episode is kind of like a Javi and Izzy dual focus episode with leaning a little bit more on the Izzy side of things. It seems like this episode picks up where things left off in the last episode because Izzy is training Adrian, the Rangers, Fern, and the rest of the Exodus group from that gym, Hotshot Gym. So they're running in the canyon and they're all training together. And Javi notices the friendly chemistry between Izzy and Adrian, which he mistakenly thinks is romantic chemistry. So of course he sets them up on a date together, which it does not go well. It goes bad. We'll get to that in a second, but I did enjoy the chemistry between Adrian and Izzy, and I hope that the misunderstanding in this episode doesn't mean that that's the last we see of him. I hope we do see him later on again in the series, whether it's in a few episodes, next episode. As I mentioned in my previous review, I love when we have these side characters turn into recurring characters, and they check in on the Rangers and everything every so often, because it makes that world feel bigger. In addition to that, it also just makes the stakes feel more real. Like it's not just the Rangers protecting no-name civilians in a town. It's Rangers protecting Fern. It's Rangers protecting Adrian, Dr. Akana, and Pop Pop, and Jane, and Jayborg, and everyone else who we have gotten to know over the course of this season. Makes that finale or those more tense moments feel more real and feel more just feel like there are more stakes to it. So yeah, I hope that we see more of Adrian because I genuinely like the character. I like his actor. So yeah, props on that. But yeah, so there's a misunderstanding, and Slither, smartly enough, he brings back Boghorn, right? And he combines Boghorn's fog with Slither's own illusion magic to create an illusion around the Rangers and use that commotion to kind of abduct Adrian, and then he holds Adrian hostage and takes his place during the date. So Adrian what is it? Javi brings Adrian to this taco joint where it's initially Izzy and Fern. They're enjoying their tacos. They're just talking and stuff. And they had good chemistry. They had really good chemistry together. Obviously, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. I'm not gonna wait until the end. Izzy and Fern do end up together. This is a confirmed couple. It's our first LGBTQIA plus couple in the show, and it's between a ranger and a civilian nonetheless. And I'm happy. I am so very, very happy for my queer folks out there. Y'all finally got your moment, and I am so happy for y'all. It's great. It definitely should have happened a long time ago, but I guess baby steps, right? I don't know. We shouldn't need baby steps, but at least it happened. I'm glad that we're here. And I'm hoping that we see more of Fern and Izzy together in the future because as I've mentioned before, I like Fern. Fern is a great character, and I like having her come back. Now, I'd like to see how she interacts with Izzy as a couple in future episodes. At the end there, when Izzy had her head on Fern's shoulder as they were walking away, that was cute. That was super cute. And Amelia's reaction to them becoming a couple was also cute. That was 100% my reaction to it. I was just all giddy and stuff. But I think I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there. So anyway, so Slider abducts Adrian, and Slider the Rangers. Sorry, Javi tries calling Adrian's phone because they don't know where he is, right? So he calls Adrian's phone. Adrian answers. Or Adrian tries to answer, but he has his hands tied up, right? So Slider snatches it, and he answers in Adrian's voice. And I'm thinking, Adrian doesn't appear to have any earplugs in. Can he not hear the interaction between the Rangers and Slider, who are on speaker, by the way, throughout this episode? Like, I understand that he might not immediately think, oh, this is Javier, this is Izzy that Slider is talking to. But I don't know. I feel like he should have some sort of sneaking suspicion, and I hope he does. I hope that they bring that back up in a later episode, because I would like to see a little bit of continuity. Now, I'd just like to see somebody figure out the Rangers' identity if we're not going to be super upfront with the side characters about who they are. It was also nice to see that Fern just upfront states that she doesn't date dudes when she tells Javi this when it seems like Javi is coming on to her, but she's like, no, I don't date dudes. But I mean, Javi wasn't coming on to her. He was trying to get her out of the taco joint so that Izzy and Adrian could have a moment together, which of course that doesn't turn out too well. One thing I did like here is that even though Slider wasn't able to steal Izzy away, Slider rebounds from this and uses Adrian, who he still has as a hostage, to get leverage over the Rangers, and he asks them to meet them in the park so they can do an exchange, their chest of Sporix cubes or Sporix beasts for Adrian, which is a really good plan. Like Slider's thinking quickly, throughout these last two episodes, and I like it. I like it a lot. Although I do wonder if they're ever going to bring up the fact that mucus kind of messed with Slider's memory, like after the electricity thing. It doesn't really seem like it. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, Slider rebounding was great. Fern straight up saying that she doesn't date dudes was also good. We don't know whether Izzy has an interest in men or not. We just know that she's queer, and she likes. We know what, at the very least she likes women. We don't know if she likes dudes, and that still makes her queer. That's completely valid. So when they get back to the base after Izzy escapes Slider's grasp, Javi comes forward, tells Izzy what happened, and she's furious, understandably so. Like, if you're gonna be a wing person with your friends, don't set them up on a blind date. At least tell them, hey, at least talk with them about it first. Get their go-ahead to set them up with this person. Don't just do it randomly, because you're going to run into a situation like this. And in the Rangers case, it led to someone getting put in harm's way. And that's not good. That's exactly what we're trying to prevent by the Rangers keeping their identity secret. Which Slider is really, really smart here, because in the beginning, the only reason he knew about this is because he had shapeshifted into one of the people from the gym, and he was running with them. He was running with the Rangers at the beginning. And I'm like, yo, that's really, really smart. Like, I hadn't even thought about that. And now it's like, now I have this thing going on in the back of my head, this thought that, like, with Slider's shapeshifting abilities, this man could be around any corner at any point in time. Past his debut, I didn't think that they would actually use his shape-shifting abilities in this kind of way. It's kind of duped the Rangers, but here we are, and I'm like, oh my god, that's good. That's really, really good, and I hope to see more of this in the future. Like, I would love it if the Rangers start second-guessing, everyone they're hanging out with, because it very well could be Slider. I want to see them deal with that potential, that potential, and maybe even come up with some sort of solution. That would be good. That would be really, really good. Another thing that I liked about this episode was the comedic morph in there. And they had Izzy dressed up as an old, or not Izzy, Zato dressed up as an old lady, Izzy dressed up as something. I'll leave a screenshot on one of these sides. But it was just a fun moment. I always love my comedic morphs in these seasons, so it was nice to see it make a come back in this episode. Um, that's it for the main story. At the end, Slider and Mucus tried to present Void Knight with the box of sporks, but obviously it changed. They didn't actually give them their sporks, right? They used some sort of illusion key to masquerade the something as a box of sporks. I don't know what it was. I think it was maybe just a regular box, but it wasn't the box of sporks that they wanted. And Void Knight absolutely berates Slider and Mucus, and he was kind of a dick to them, honestly. Like he was very much a dick. Slider's reaction to this did make me think that maybe at some point in the future we could see Slider not change sides but go against Void Knight and do his own thing maybe. But who knows? The main thing here though is that Void Knight goes back into his room and he checks up on Santara, the woman in his love interest in a tube, and he takes off his helmet. This is the first time we've seen Void Knight without his helmet on, and we don't know who he is yet. We'll see. Well, obviously we'll learn more about Void Knight's backstory in a future episode, but it's nice to be able to see him without a helmet for the first time, confirm that he is a humanoid, if not human himself. We don't know if he's an alien because, as multiple Power Rangers seasons in the past have shown us, you can still be a humanoid. You can still be a humanoid individual and look like a human being, and not be from Earth. Like there are other planets with humanoid individuals. But yeah, it's nice to see Void Knight's face. It's also nice to see that he's just genuinely frustrated about all this. Like he wants to get Santara back, whatever means necessary, and I dig that. Like it makes me more interested in in their backstory and what they have to offer going forward. But otherwise, there weren't really any story elements. I don't want to say it was filler necessarily. It wasn't as fillery as the previous episode, but there wasn't really anything that that advanced the plot in ways that are obvious right now. They might bring up some stuff later on in the future, but aside from seeing Void Knight's face, checking in on Santara, and Izzy and Fern getting together, yeah, there really wasn't anything that obviously drove the plot forward, but I still enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed this episode a lot more than I did the last episode. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for this episode. Questions of the week. I don't really have any questions of the week. Really, that's pretty much it. I do want to see Fern back together. I do want to see Fern again in future episodes a lot more now that her and Izzy are a couple. I would also like to see a little bit of conflict. I would like to see her, find out, or Izzy tell her that she's a ranger. Maybe she doesn't even have to tell her that the others are rangers, but at least be upfront with your girlfriend about it. And I'd like to see Fern's reaction. I kind of want to see a little bit of conflict there. Maybe Fern is concerned about the danger that puts herself in, because that's a very valid concern to have. The whole point of not revealing your identity to the other people and being coy about that so that you don't put your loved ones in danger. And now Izzy has a loved one that's not her father, and that's not Javi, a ranger, to be worried about. I want to see how that plays out in the future. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't remember if Chase and Dino Charge, him and his girlfriend, if they ever had a moment where she was questioning their relationship when she found out that Chase was a ranger. It's been a minute since I've seen Dino Charge. If that did happen, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. Because Lord knows I'm not going to be watching Dino Charge here anytime soon. Not that it's a bad season, I don't have that kind of time. I don't really want to go through all 40 episodes right now. Maybe in the future. But yeah, anyway, that's my review. If you've watched the episode, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Until next time, mask up, get the vaccine if you can, stay safe, go out to a comedy club or just go outside and just have some fun. Go do something if you can, and still stay safe, obviously, but go do something if you can. And yeah, have a good weekend. Peace.